Good evening, everyone. Let the record indicate it is 5:05 p.m. and the Warwick Finance Committee is called to order. Need a motion to accept the minutes from the May 21st meeting?
Motion to accept.
Seconded.
We have a motion to accept. Do we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We have 2017-045 Rescue Service Billing Administrator found on page 1.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Before you this evening is a request to extend PCR 9816, which was formerly bid number 2017-045, for a period of 3 months for an amount not to exceed $7,500. This is again the rescue services contract. The city recently, the contract will be expiring on June 30th. The city recently went out to bid on this services. We've since thrown out the bids, and we're going to go back out to rebid. We would like to get a little more specific on the RFP, and we'll be back before you once that bid has been accepted, completed, and we'll be back for a full term of the contract.
Okay, so Brian, the reason that it's so late coming to us is because you had revisited the bid? Is that
We
it?
did go out to bid. We received the bids. Upon further review, we wanted additional language within the bids related to some of the some of the potential money that was deemed uncollectible. So we'd like to revisit that and have some additional language related to that.
Okay, any questions from members of the committee? Sir.
I remember last year that when we had the fire before us, they mentioned that there were two contractors, and one of the contractors was very good at getting the money in a timely fashion, as well as making sure that we get the money owed. Mm-hmm. Is that what the purpose of the rebid and the fine-tuning was?
That was part of it. To be honest, we didn't feel it was addressed enough in the RFP. It wasn't clear within the RFP, so everybody wasn't bidding the same way on that. We'd like to address that.
Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So, Brian, so what you want to do is you want to better define what the expectations are of the city.
Yes.
From a potential vendor.
Correct.
Okay. Patricia?
I just want to clarify something. I think he said 7,500. It's 75 per month, so the total is actually 22,500.
22,500. That's correct. Yes, that's what's in our package here. Okay, so it's a 3-month extension for 22,500.
Correct.
Any further questions from members of the committee, members of the council, members of the public? Hearing none, need a motion.
Move for favorable action.
Seconded.
We have a motion for favorable. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
2018-061 found on page 7.
Major Brad Connor for the Police Department. The department is seeking authorization for a 612 amendment to contract for repairs that were done at the range facility for our alarm system. Specifically, the striker plate failed and required us to do an emergency repair. The original contract is for $239.40 per year, and the cost of the repairs was $695 for a total of $934.40, and this is coming out of our service contract code 30-340.
Okay, let the record indicate there's adequate funds in that account. Any questions from members of the committee? Any questions from members of the council, members of the public? Hearing none, need a motion.
Move for favorable action.
Seconded.
We have a motion for favorable. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Major. 2018-064 HVAC maintenance found on page 18. Hi, Christy.
Good evening. The department's requesting to increase the award on this bid in the amount of $40,000 for a total cap of $145,000. The expiration on this bid is August 29th.
Okay, Christy, I'm going to move to hold this till the August 15th meeting, and in the interim, within the next couple of weeks, within 2 weeks, I would like to see or get a copy of all the invoices pertaining to any HVAC maintenance or repair that has been done in any of the city-owned buildings.
Okay.
Need a motion to hold till August 15th.
Move to hold till August 15th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. PCR.
Excuse me, Councilman.
PCR, what, please?
10518.
10518. Sir. Mic's still not on.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Oh, there you go. Hold it up. It's
We're-
terrible.
Currently, we have no HVAC person on board our staff, and all our systems are elderly, and we're having failures left and right. In fact, Pat Penska's office is failing now. If we put it off, he's not coming in tomorrow. In fact, we haven't paid him. I think we're probably behind on that. And that's just, I'm just putting it out there because I understand that you do want this information, and I wholeheartedly agree you can get it. I just, we're going to put this off for 2 more weeks. That means we're probably in pretty much the hottest part of the season. Our air conditioners, as they fail, we have no one.
So what is this work for? Which buildings?
This is for all the buildings.
No, the emergency stuff that you're talking about now. I mean, what building can't wait until August 15th?
Well, this one here, we've got air conditioning in this room, but there's 26 sections to this one. And purchasing right now has none. It was probably 80-something today, so I'm sure it was 70-something in there.
Okay, so right now, you're looking for 40,000. That's what I have here, to go from 105 to 145.
She's saying yes.
All right, let me back up for a minute. Council, I want to withdraw the motion to hold. Yeah, when the time comes. Okay, I need a motion to reconsider what was PCR 105-18.
Motion to reconsider.
Second.
Councilman, on that request you had, we'll still get all the information forward to you, and in a good timely manner before the 2 weeks.
So where did the number of, Christie, where did the number of 45,000 come from?
The request is for 40,000.
40,000.
I actually have open purchase orders that I need to increase because the bills came in much higher than what the PO was open for. I have some bills that need to be paid that I don't have a purchase order for yet because the nature of what we do is, we have buildings that are failing. The senior center was one of them. The police department was one of them. They have to start up these systems and they don't work, or they don't work properly, and they need to be fixed. Because we don't have anyone on staff right now, that does put us kind of behind things. So we have to, I've had a failure at the pool. I've had a failure at the ice rink. And we can't shut the buildings.
And those have been fixed, correct?
They have been fixed,
Okay.
yes.
So there's 2 issues here then. We have outstanding invoice issues, and we have potentially, or potential additional repairs, and we have purchasing, which is down. Does that put it all together?
Yes, basically. Right now, I have purchase orders open with the invoices that have come in, with the invoices that have come in against the POs. I have to, in total, for all the purchase orders, increase it $10,158 to pay those bills for the POs we had issued.
Okay, and how much do we anticipate the price to be for purchasing?
For Pat's issue right now, I couldn't tell you.
Joe?
I can't speak to that. I don't have any idea.
Do you have any idea what the problem is with the AC and purchasing?
In purchasing, I do not. They were put in '82. They're not typical to me. Many units I've worked on. This one is a typical unit. In fact, the company Dun & Bush has gone out of business, and these parts are like hen's teeth. Often we have to rig something else in order to work those.
Okay.
We did have them here working on a unit just across the hall on Friday night, and because Treasury also had some issues. And it's just fallen in like that. Also, I just wanted to comment, I say that it's an HVAC thing. However, he's also my plumber. I mean, the guy that was doing my HVAC is also my plumber. So currently, if we have plumbing issues and it's something I can't do, or because of time constraints I can't do it, I'll do the little stuff, but I can't do it all because of the time constraints on it.
But anything under 2,500 could go through on the 56.6? This is any type of, you know, miscellaneous odds and end plumbing stuff. That can go through on the 56.6, correct?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, questions from members of the committee? Sir?
How much do we have left in this account right now, Christie?
There's 3 different accounts.
Yeah, the 3, yeah. Because you have the outstanding balances, of course, too.
You know what?
Okay, Christie, do you have
I
those?
wrote it down and I must
Sorry?
I wrote it down. I must have left it on my desk. I know and there's a substantial amount of money in building maintenance left. There's, when I wrote this up, I went by what we had left in our accounts. It also does cross the fiscal year, so as of July 1, you know, we'll have that because it doesn't expire until August 29th.
Okay, so let me help you out with that question, Councilman. So 42,331, which is McDermott, there's $10,872 in that account. 66,281, which is the building maintenance, there is $38,000 in that account. And on 66,340, I skipped over that rascal. I must have left that one on my desk.
I know that one didn't have a lot of money left in it. It probably had around $4,300 when, so there wasn't a lot left in that one.
Okay.
But again, it does.
But that one, you're only looking for 3,000.
Right, but it does change, that'll change with the fiscal year as well.
Correct. Any other questions, Councilman?
Nope.
Okay, any questions from members of the council? Any questions from members of the public?
Good evening. Stacia Heiler. You just read off Councilman Lattisaw. So building maintenance and repairs, that line item is budgeted at $85,000. And service contracts, that's budgeted at $168,000. So this is the newly approved budget. So is this correct?
No, we're still in the...
No. Part of it is for this year, and
So they want to
it's going
extend,
to cross
they
over.
want more money. So they want, what, another $40,000? Because what, these line items are depleted? I'm just trying to understand how this works. We just approved 168 and 85 for this year's budget.
No, it's not because line items are depleted. It's because it's extending their award of $105,000. So it's going to be an additional $40,000 over the 105. So it's going to extend it from 105
What
to
line
145.
item is 105, please, 105,000, please, in
Excuse
the
me?
budget? What line item in the budget is 105,000?
I'm not going by line item in the budget. I'm going by request permission to increase PCR 44-18 from 105,000 to 145,000.
And what line item in the budget are those funds coming out of,
Christie,
please?
do you have that information?
There's no one single budget code with 105,000. It's a combination of multiple budget codes is what we're asking for.
And right now, what you're asking for is 3.
Yes.
Okay.
So the answer is it's coming out of 3 different budget codes. That's where the funding is coming from, correct?
At least 3 budget codes,
3
Christie?
different budget codes.
At least 3 budget codes.
So we use 3 different budget codes for HVAC. Do we use it for anything, HVAC repair? Do we use 3 different budget line items for anything else? Or is that money just used for HVAC repairs?
So let me just suggest, and we'll answer that question, but let me suggest we stick to the order of business, and the order of business is these three accounts right here for $40,000. Christie, you want to answer Stacey's last question,
Yeah,
please?
and Councilman Lattiser, I'm just asking for clarity because I'm trying to understand how three different line items in the budget, there's not enough money left to carry over to extend what's needed to be extended. And not only that, you know, and I understand and I think it's unfortunate they lost the HVAC repair person. I don't know how long it takes from when someone puts in their notice of retirement or whatnot to put in an ad to replace that person. I think it's unfortunate. And, you know, who's going to do the work? So do we hire out, you know, an outside service to do the HVAC repair when we're down? An individual? Those are my questions. Thank you.
Christie?
Yes, we use those line items for other service contracts, commodities, and things like that. To answer her second question regarding the HVAC person and what we do when we don't have one, we call this company to come out and fix whatever we need to have fixed. That's what we do when we don't have anyone on staff.
Okay, so I just want to be clear that this PCR 44-18, the award of $105,000, that $105,000 has been expended.
Yes.
Okay. And you're looking for an additional $40,000 to take care of the additional invoices for additional work that has been authorized and done.
Correct.
And potentially other areas such as purchasing.
Yes.
Okay.
And hopefully,
which brings us all the way back to the beginning when I asked to have the copy of all the invoices for the amounts expended in the amount of $105,000 in addition to those newer ones, okay? And I also understand that we have an immediate issue here in purchasing where the AC is down. And this certainly isn't the time of the year that we want to have our people working in hot boxes if we don't have to. So having said that, I will not support the entire $40,000. What I will do is reduce all three of those line items in half, and that should get us through any immediate problems that you have. And if there goes something beyond that, then you just have to come back to us again. Or if it's under 2,500, you can put in a 56.6, okay?
Okay.
Joe, that work for you? To the mic, please. Joe, to the mic, please. We've got to have this all on the mic. That works?
Yes, that will work for me. Thank you so much.
Okay, and it's not going to overextend us here for something that potentially we won't need, but yet you're going to have some monies for something immediate. Okay. So we're going to stick with, we're going to go back to PCR 105-18. We're going to look to amend all three of those amounts in half. So the first amount will be $1,500, the second amount will be $3,500, and the last amount will be $15,000 for a total of $20,000. Yes. Oh, sorry.
Councilman, if I could, Rick Krenka, Director of Public Works. Just to answer on one question that was brought up, the HVAC position and as to why it's not filled, or we have advertised 3 separate times for that position and did not receive any answers.
Rick, could you have someone send me the list of the vendors that you were sending it to?
The vendors?
Yeah.
Well, it's for a job.
You send out a request, right, for bids?
As to places like New England Tech, we sent to places like that, if that's what you're looking for.
No, you didn't.
No, this is for the position of the city's position, their HVAC position that's unfilled.
Oh, I see.
Hence why we have to hire an outside company.
I got it. Okay,
the question came up is why we haven't filled it, and the reason is we've advertised 3 separate times and haven't gotten any replies.
What's the position pay?
Off the top of my head, I don't know, Councilman.
Joe, do you have an answer?
Yeah, it's,
to the mic? The mic.
I believe it's around $24 an hour. It's that's what's holding it back. It's just
$24 an hour, and you need a licensed HVAC person for $24 an hour.
Yeah.
Guess why you ain't getting no answers.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. So we're looking, we got a question?
No, I can make the motion, I got it.
All right, you got it?
Yep.
Go ahead, Councilman.
Okay, I make a motion to amend, so we're going to keep the PCR, right? To amend PCR 10518, going to make 3 adjustments to line item 66,340. It's now going to be $1,500. Line item 42,331 is going to be $3,500. And line item 66,281 is going to be $15,000. And we're going to award the contract now from $40,000. We're now awarding the contract for $20,000.
Second on the amendment.
Okay, just a point of clarification, will actually be increasing the current contract.
Increase,
Okay.
yes.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes as amended, PCR 10518. 2019-39, OPEB, sorry? 2019-039, found on page 23.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Brian Sylvia, Finance Director, presenting.
Good evening, Brian.
Good evening.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Before you this evening is a recommendation to the low bidder, Jefferson Solutions. This is an amount of total award of $4,996, funded out of account code 18360, which is the professional services account within finance. We are a little late, just as a little explanation, we are a little late in getting this to you because the prior contract, which was bid number 2015-031, that was for the GASB 45 actuarial evaluation services. Since then, GASB has changed their requirements. There's now a new GASB associated with this contract, GASB 75. And in advance of putting this out to bid, I wanted to ensure with both our auditors and the Auditor General that the bid specs complied with our new regulations in GASB 75.
Okay. Thank you, Brian. And so I believe the requirements have come to us 60 days before bid expiration. Just to refresh on that,
absolutely.
Brian. And seriously, I know I speak for many of us, if not all of us. Yeah, we're glad you're staying.
Thank you, sir.
So, any questions on 2019-039? Members of the committee? Any questions from members of the council? Any questions from members of the public? Hearing none, I need a motion.
Move for favorable action. Second.
We have a motion for favor. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian. We have 2019-043 found on page 28.
I swear it's here somewhere.
I'm sorry?
I swear it's here somewhere. The field marking paint bid, department's requesting to award to Pioneer Manufacturing in the amount of $15,000 for a 2-year period. While they were not the low bidder, we asked for samples, and theirs is the only one that will fit the machine that we use to stripe the fields. So for us to award to anybody else, then we'd have to buy a whole new machine and...
Say that again. Repeat that again, please. The reason.
Their can fits the striping machine that we have.
Christy, I still didn't hear what you said. Could you just say it again, please?
So the paint comes in a can. It looks like a spray paint can.
Yes.
And
it goes in those little walkadooey things.
It goes upside down.
Got it.
in the.
Okay.
And theirs is the only can that fits the machine.
So how much is a new machine?
Honestly, I'm not sure. We haven't, as far as I know, we haven't purchased one. I mean, I've been with the department since 2009, so.
Was Joe Blake?
This is field maintenance. This is the outdoor fields. This has nothing to do with building maintenance.
But maybe he knows how much a new machine is. Because I'm looking at awarding this to a company for $59.50 when we can get a can of paint doing the same thing for $30.25, and I want to know how much the machine costs, because maybe it'll be cheaper to buy a new machine than to spend twice as much on a can of paint. Joe, do you have an answer?
Is it field marking paint that she's purchasing? The upside-down can that they spray and mark the roads with or whatever?
How much one of the machines cost?
Not that much. How much, I'm going to say a walking machine like they use for...
Rick, do you have an idea?
I can tell you, Councilman, that the machine that, oh, wrong machine. This is not the stripe of the road, or this is not the stripe, the road stripe.
No, it's to do the ball fields.
Yeah.
It's like a walking sticky dewy thing. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Put
no,
the can in and
Councilman, I
walk around.
don't know how much a new one would cost.
Yep.
I was mixing it up with the line stripe that we use for crosswalks. Don't know. But anyway, that machine cost us $2,400 just to fix. We haven't done that yet. We're trying to fix it ourselves. Let's see if we can get on.
Okay, so we're going to be mocking fields.
Correct. We do that every day.
Every day?
Yes.
Right. And we're going to be doing it for about another 3 months.
No, we're going to
July,
do it.
August,
No,
September,
no, we're going to
October,
do it
November?
for the rest of the summer and as late as the end of October.
And how many cans of paint do we use?
That I don't know.
How much supply do you have now?
We have nothing.
Nothing. So we wait until we have nothing to come before us for
No,
bid.
I don't think so. I think
Oh.
we've been here before for this.
We're here in the first meeting in June.
I believe so.
Okay.
Weren't we here before that also?
Were you here before that also?
Everything's in the 2,000.
Christie, how many cans of paint have we used so far this year? Or how many cans of paint did we use in totality for last year? Because I think we can get a machine, from what I'm being shown here, we can get a machine for $1,500 to $2,000. And for $30 a can difference, I'm saying for 70 cans of paint, we can buy a brand new machine.
Well, they run anywhere, Councilman, from
$695 to
$740
$2,395
to
right. $2,400, $2,500,
$3,000.
$3,000. Okay, so that's 100 cans of paint. At $30 per can difference, that's 100 cans of paint. Have we used 100 cans of paint so far this year? This year? How many did we use last year?
Don't know.
Okay, I think it's a problem locking us into a product that costs us twice as much as the
120 cases at a time. Each case has 12 cans.
120 cases, and we got 12 cans. That's 100.
6 cans
that's
per case.
6 cans, so that's 72 cans.
6 cans per case, 120 cases.
At 120 cases, 720 cans.
Correct.
Times $30 is a new machine. Listen, excuse me. If anybody wants to speak, come up, be recognized, and step up to the mic.
We will gladly buy a new machine if it's okay. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
I think it's a good investment. I'll spend $2,000 on a machine to save $30 a can. That in your first order, I'm going to pay for the machine. And maybe, just maybe, if there were a conversation had with U.S. Specialties, you know what? If you're buying that kind of quantity, maybe they'd even think about providing a machine. I mean, it's not impossible. Councilman.
This is for a 2-year contract? Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Would we entertain maybe just getting us through this last year?
I would entertain a 6-month contract, maybe something
Yeah,
like that,
to get
so
us
we can get through the
to
season.
December.
If you can get us through this season,
Yep, then we can
then we
entertain.
will work on speccing out a new machine.
Done.
If-
Done.
Okay.
We want a new machine. We don't want to be locked into some machine that we're getting screwed paying twice as much for a can of paint when we could buy a better machine or the same machine and in perpetuity, well, maybe not in perpetuity, but, you know, over a brief period of time, save the taxpayers a lot of dough. That works for me. We're going to amend this. I need a PCO. PCR. 10618. 10618. We need any questions from members of the committee? Any questions? Sir.
Just for clarification, Mr. Chairman, it was mentioned that there's 6 cans to a case. There are 12 cans to a case.
12 cans to a case, and we've used 120 cases, so now we're talking about 1,440 cans? Looks like we can buy a couple machines. Okay. On to the amendment. Looking to amend to extend this bid through, Joe? Through, or Rick, whoever wants to answer, through November or beginning of November? When are we done?
Through November would be safe?
Through November.
Correct.
Okay, extending this bid to the end of November. That's November 30th.
Our fields will use that loan.
Need a motion?
Motion to amend PCR 106-8.
What'd you say? You doing the math?
773.
Because we're not going to award 15,000.
7,750.
No. So, yeah, we're going to do the math. So 2 years, that's 7,500, it's 6,750. So we're going to extend this for 6 months, and we're going to extend it for 6,750, not to exceed $6,750. And you guys are going to look for a new machine. You're going to contact these vendors, and I think you need to have a serious talk with them about a machine if they would like to continue getting Warwick business.
We'll spec
That's
out
what
a
we
new
do in the
machine.
private sector.
Sure.
Thank you.
That's 50%.
That's,
We're not doing 50%.
we're not doing 50%. Okay. We're going 6 months. They wanted 2 years. So 2 years is 7,500. Okay, so I made a mistake. It's 3,750. So you know what? Let's round it off to an even number. You got up to $4,000. Okay? Joe, that works? Okay. Any questions from members of the public? We're done. Need a motion.
Motion to amend and make amend 2019-043 to become PCR 106-18, amend the contract down to 6 months, and for a total of up to $4,000.
Seconded.
We have a motion. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. 2019-044, printing of various letterhead and envelopes, found on page 33.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Ruth Nicastro, Purchasing. The Purchasing Department went out to bid for the printing of letterhead, envelopes, and business cards. We received 5 bids. I recommend that this contract be awarded to Copy World, the lowest qualified bidder. I'd like this contract period to be recommended for 2 years, from 7/1/18 to 6/30/20, in an amount not to exceed $10,000. This amount will be used on an as-needed basis from the various departments. The various departments will be using their codes 201, office supplies, or 202, printing. The previous bid expires on 7/1/18.
Any questions from members of the committee? Sir.
Just want to point out that this is a Warwick company, correct?
A what?
A Warwick company. Copy World is from, based here
Oh,
in
a
Warwick.
local company,
A local
yes.
company, yes. Thank you.
Any other questions from members? Sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a question. Why were we requesting a 2-year contract?
Well, my previous bid for printing had 44 items.
Right.
I've cut it down to 9 items. They're the most frequently used items. I looked at all the purchase orders throughout the last year, and I just feel as though that it's a great price for them to hold it for 2 years for those 9 items.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Any questions from members of the council? Any questions from members of the public? Hearing none, I need a motion.
Move for favorable action.
Seconded.
We have a motion for favorable, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
And we have 2019-062, found on page 38.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
Good evening,
Mr.
sir.
McKay from MIS. This is a request under 56.6 to award to Tyler Technologies the amount of $191,219.74. This amount of money will cover our license renewal, maintenance, technical support, as well as operating system database administration from Tyler Technologies. The maintenance system will cover the accounting, payroll, purchasing, tax assessors and collector's office, the utility billing software, the sewer authority and water division, as well as Crystal Reports and the Munis office, which is an interface with the Microsoft products of Word, Excel, and Outlook, as well as Tyler Forms, which is we utilize to print our forms out. Tyler Technologies does not outsource any of its software, the maintenance of it, nor the technical support of it. A copy of the sole source letter has been provided. This purchase will come out of 25,334 and covers the period of July 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2019.
Any questions from members of the committee? Any questions from members of the council? Any questions from members of the public? Hearing none, I need a motion.
Move for favorable action.
Second.
We have a motion for favorable, and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ray. All right, moving on, I need a motion for the acceptance of the minutes.
Move for favorable action.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. PCR 10418, forget it. PCR 9417, bid number 2017. State of Rhode Island Telecommunications Services and Installation. Anyone here from the department to speak?
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, the MIS director requests a 1-month stay of this.
So you're looking to hold, no, actually, we're not going to hold till July. We've got enough stuff in July.
July 18th.
We're going to hold till August 15th.
August 15th, very good.
Now, hold on, because I'm not getting what I want. And by the way, it's unfortunate you just happen to be carrying the water today, sir. So we have been asking for certain documentation, certain documents, certain invoices, billings, et cetera, for months. And to pretty much all the other department heads, to their credit, they've been providing that. These items, this along with your counterpart PCR 14817, we have not been getting those. Actually, you've been completely ignored. So just to keep that in mind, if you could share that with your department head for August 15th. We have a motion to hold till August 15th. Need a motion?
Motion to hold to August 15th. Seconded.
I'm sorry, we had a request to hold at the director. We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. PCR 14817, same thing?
Yes.
Hold till August 15th. Same thing from the department head and same thing from the finance committee. Need a motion.
Motion to hold to the August meeting, which is...
We have a motion to hold till August 15th.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. PCR 173.
Thank you.
You're welcome. PCR 17317. Was there a question? she's up here, so. Thank you for that, but we're moving on. That's being held till August 15th. There you go. So, PCR 173-17, purchase of Peterbilt Model 520. Anyone here to speak to that?
Rick Kranka, Public Works. Councilman, this is the, as you know, the garbage truck that we've been, I believe it's the garbage truck, isn't it? The Peterbilt?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's an
okay.
auto side loader, correct.
I didn't hear you very well back there. This is the same garbage truck that we've been talking about for a while.
Okay.
Okay.
So, having said that, still a lot of things that we need to consider and work through, particularly after just coming out of the most egregious budget I think anyone on this city council has seen in many years. I'm going to ask to hold this until August 15th. Need a motion?
Motion to hold to August 16th.
15th.
Sorry.
Seconded.
We have a motion to hold till August 15th. And we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. We have PCR 45-18, bid number 2018-243. Chief, you can come to the mic. I'll just kind of save you some time on this. We have agreed that we'll continue to hold this until such time as we're both comfortable and assured that those medical evaluations will be going through healthcare. Correct? Okay. So let's hold this until September. How's that? Is that okay? Okay, that works. Need a motion to hold till September 5th.
Motion to hold to September 5th.
Seconded.
We have a motion to hold. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Chief. PCR 6218, formerly bid 2018-275. Item number 6. Chief, again, I can, the same thing as I just told DPW, for the same reasons. We're going to hold until August 15th. Need a motion.
Motion to hold to August 15th.
Seconded.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
PCR 6318, same thing. Hold till August 15th. Need a
Motion to hold to August 15th.
Seconded.
We have a motion to hold. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
We have PCR 78-18, formerly bid 2018-269, which is the statistical reappraisal of all real estate. Who is here to speak to that? Brian, you drew the short straw. I hope you like that podium, buddy.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before you this evening is a recommendation for award for the statistical reval to Northeast Reval Group for $316,000.
Okay, and Brian, just give us a quick background of what's going to be taking place here for anyone that may have not been here. It's basically just a reevaluation of the city, something that we're required to do, etc.
So every 3 years, the state does, the city has to do a statistical revaluation.
That's like asset forfeitures. It's not like tongue twister thing. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The city receives, boy, I'm drawing a blank. I think it's about 75% back, 50% back. So this, I apologize, I don't know much about this bid. I don't know if this is the 316, if that's the portion the city's paying, or we're getting a percentage back from the state on this. I'm not, I don't know a lot about this bid. I apologize.
Okay. Certainly something that obviously by law is required to be done.
Yes, we're required by law every 3 years.
So, any questions from members of the committee? Any questions from members of the council? Any questions from members of the public? Hearing none, need a motion.
Move for favorable action.
Seconded.
We have a motion for favorable. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
PCR 9818, State of Rhode Island janitorial supplies.
Hello again.
Hello, sir.
This bid was carried over to tonight for janitorial supplies for all city buildings. I think we had asked to extend the contract to match the state's contract, and it also asked for an additional funding of $10,000 over the cap.
Thank you. Any questions from members of the committee? Sir.
This is for all city buildings?
That's correct.
That we have employees in across?
That's all city buildings that we own and or have employees in.
Okay, so we
Other
have
than the school department?
Other than the school department.
Okay, so we have a list of, we know where goes where, what goes to each building and everything like that?
We buy in bulk.
Yeah.
And as a building needs it or a facility needs it, then we take the material over there and replenish it. I don't know if I have a record that would tell you, for instance, how much went to the senior center, how much went to City Hall, but we use it as we need it.
Okay. All right.
So Rick, I got a concern with that, because we're purchasing, extra dollars and cents of janitorial supplies, but yet in the past we have not kept a record of who's getting what. So in the private sector, when we give our crews X tubes of silicone, let's say, we know how much silicone we purchased, we know how much we gave to this job, to that job, to this job. And as a matter of fact, we also many times require the empty tubes to be returned before new tubes are given, because that's called inventory control. Mm-hmm. And I'm concerned that over these last amount of years that we've been purchasing janitorial supplies, but there has been no inventory control or no accountability as to what buildings get what. That's actually quite concerning to me.
All right.
So, we understand that there's a need for these janitorial supplies. I think what the councilman was getting at is that he would like to see a list or an inventory of what we've purchased over this last year in terms of whatever these janitorial supplies are and who they've been purchased from and at what cost. And it would certainly settle well with this committee if we know where the inventory has gone, to what building it's gone. And if we, I'll settle for some percentage, some accountability, something to say, hey, listen, you know what? We know where 5 cases of paper towels went, and it went here. And we know where 3 gallons of Simple Green went, it went there. To say that we purchase X dollars and cents of janitorial supplies, but we don't have any idea at all where it went, is actually quite concerning. Okay, Joe? Sure, please.
Actually, we do. If any one of the buildings that has access to a computer, we take the requisitions through the computer, and we do have control on that. On the buildings that where the custodian is and he has no access to that, then what he does is he calls that in and we mark that down. So we do have it. We don't have 100%. And one of the other things we do for control, Councilman, is we don't buy anything that you'd be able to use at home, or very, very little. So there's not a lot of walkout on that. Like we buy toilet paper, 90% of it is coreless, so it has to be in a special machine. We do things like that just so that there's not a lot of walk out the door. Whether it's in the building that I can't look at all the time, or whether it's in my own building. It's just something that it's relatively easy to walk out with something that you'd use at home, cleaning products, everything. So we tend to buy those in concentrate forms, and you have to use a machine to actually dilute the formula. And so it's a control situation. We don't have 100% of it, but I do I have control or some numbers on it? Absolutely I do, absolutely.
Okay. And Joe, the perspective that you just gave to us certainly is a consideration. There's also the perspective of if the money's not coming out of your pocket for something, perhaps maybe you don't use it as carefully. As an example, let's go back to the silicone. So, how many times in the construction industry does
Absolutely.
one find a half-used tube of silicone?
Absolutely.
And the rest of it is thrown away. So there's those things. There's also the hidden costs. So when you have supplies going to whatever different buildings throughout the city, it's a pretty good-sized city with some, fairly good turf to be covered. How does those particular products go from, I assume they're received in DPW? Is that what these products are
I
received?
supply all the buildings.
Okay, but the bulk delivery comes to
Yes,
you and then it's
usually,
dispersed elsewhere?
Usually, it depends on the building. Some buildings can actually have probably 3 or 4 weeks worth. Other buildings can't have more than a week's worth. So some of them call in on a weekly basis. Some of them go out on a monthly basis or bi-weekly. But
does the initial delivery go to a central location?
To us comes in bulk.
And then you guys disperse it from there?
Absolutely.
So how does it go from you to the library, let's say? How does it get there? Does someone from the library pick it up, or?
No, we deliver.
We deliver it. So this a hidden cost.
Oh, no, there absolutely is.
Product.
And in fact, some of that we shifted off too because the pool and the rinks, because they were using so much, excuse me, we have drop shipments there. Rather than us taking that in and delivering that, they actually have a drop shipment to that place. And I mean, if all the buildings had that much area to cover and that much room that they could utilize, I'd have drop shipments made to more of them. And
so those areas of drop shipments you would certainly have invoices for. So that's part of the accountability that you said.
Christie has
so
all the invoices.
Those invoices would certainly be available. Okay. Any other questions from members of the committee? Any questions from members of the council? Any questions from members of the public? Hearing none, need a motion.
Move for favorable action.
Seconded.
We have a motion for favorable. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And Joe or Rick, you'll get us that list, correct? Of those invoices, et cetera, of this. Okay. We're going to approve it so that, we don't have to have people wiping their hands on, newspapers. You'll have your paper towels and stuff. But we do want to see that list, and I'd be curious to know how the inventory control is been going on in the past. Okay? And I'll be able to come up with that once I get your list.
Wasn't any at all. Police station, for instance, I definitely get theirs through email. My custodians, the night custodians, I leave them off in it. Primarily, it's a daytime situation, so I have them call in. But yeah, I can get you some of the information.
Okay, thank you.
If it's not enough, then just let me know and I'll
Okay.
get more.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, Joe. Yes.
We need to go back one bit. There's some additional information on this. This is actually one out to rebid. I just refreshed Brian's memory.
Under statistical.
So reopen that.
Okay, so need a motion to reopen PCR 7818.
Motion to reopen PCR 7818.
Seconded.
We have a motion, we have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, it was just brought to my attention that this bid the request is to have it withdrawn. The city is now going back out to bid on this bid. There was a lack of communication on our part. We should have had somebody here to speak on that, and you should have been made aware of that as well. But the request of the administration is to withdraw this, and we're going to go back out to bid.
And go back out to bid. Yes. So this shouldn't even have been on this docket anyways.
It was held, so we have to bring it to
Okay. So it was held, so now, sure. Mr. Chief of Staff.
Good evening. Yes, thank you. I apologize.
Your name, sir?
Sorry, William D. Pasquale, Chief of Staff Planning Director. With the city actually went out to bid, we wanted to tighten up the proposal that we had first sent out. There was an ambiguity that the RFP had in some of the licensing questions. And so out of abundance of caution, we felt that bidding the project would be in the best interest of the city of Warwick. And again, please accept my apologies.
Yeah, no problem, Bill. So in essence, this thing is just being withdrawn. Is that it? that we're doing?
Yes, we will actually be coming back for another bid.
You'll come back to us with a new bid?
That is correct.
Okay, so at the request of the Chief of Staff, we're going to, he's asking that we just withdraw this bid altogether.
Yes, we will be
Correct.
coming back with
Okay.
RFP and a suggestion for a vendor.
Need a motion, please?
Motion to withdraw PCR 7818.
Seconded.
We have a motion, we have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Billy D., thank you, Patricia, and thank you, Brian, for that clarification. Okay, so we are on PCR 100-18, printing of master voter books.
Hi. Patty Ellsworth with the Board of Canvassers.
Hi, Patty.
Hi.
Okay, we had held this at the last meeting because no one was here. So you need this because, excuse me, you need this bid because of?
The printing of the master poll books for the primary and the general election.
Okay, and that is what the reasoning is for the additional funds because of the
Yes, sir.
primary, et cetera?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions from members of the committee? Any questions from members of the council? Sir?
Mr. Chairman, in defense of Patty, I'm sure she wasn't aware that she was required to be present in past years, many years before they instituted the policy that the directors were not required to be before the Finance Committee. So I'm sure that she has researched, done her thing, and will be here in the future as required.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman. I certainly had assumed that, but I didn't want anyone here to think that the Finance Committee held this for some other specific reason or problem or issue, because that wasn't the case. Okay. Any questions from members of the public? Hearing none, need a motion.
Move for favorable action.
Seconded.
We have a motion for favorable. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Patty.
Thank you.
Okay, PCR 102-18. Mr. Kranka? PCR 102-18. Sand, grit, gravel, loom. You and I spoke about this earlier this afternoon, and you have a request. Thank you, sir.
Sorry about that. I knew I had one more. Just bear with me 1 second.
Sure.
This is our bid for sand, gravel, loam, stone, dirt, that type of material. We'd received 10 bids on the above award, and we were recommending the 10 bidders because of basically availability. However, in reviewing this, I'd like to change our recommendation to 6 bidders.
Okay.
And would you like me to read out the
Please.
ones? Okay. Cardi Corporation, G. Lopes Construction, Richmond Sand and Stone, Material Sand and Stone, P.J. Keating, and Drybridge Sand and Stone. The 4 that we eliminated, we haven't bought from them in I don't know how long. And the 6 that I am recommending are all close, and I think 6 would be enough to guarantee our supply. And as you know, when we need, for instance, processed gravel, we would look, we would see who's the lowest, we would call them to see if it's available. If it is, that's where we buy it. If it's not available, we go to the second lowest, so on and so forth.
Okay, thank you for revisiting that and reevaluating that, Rick. I know I was objecting to Green Dream and We Lease It because their bid it didn't make any sense to me. And over the past year and a half, I've spent a lot of time reaching out to vendors, finding out why they hadn't been bidding, or why they hadn't been bidding at all. And the comments and the feedback were pretty similar. So these kind of bids where they bid two things out of an entire item just doesn't make sense, and in my opinion doesn't deserve to be put on the list. So I appreciate you revisiting that. I'm looking at the vendors that you have selected. I don't have any problems with it. PJ Keating is going to be a couple of items at best. Dry Bridge is whatever it is. Any questions from members? Sir.
Director, I just want to say I appreciate this, that you're going through this so it doesn't, people don't automatically are on the bid list because they've always been on the bid list. I appreciate you doing your due diligence, and I think that's a good practice. So
you're welcome.
Any other questions from any other members of the committee? Any questions from members of the council? Any questions from members of the public? So we already have a PCR, so we're going to need an amendment put in the record for favorable action on those vendors that Mr. Cranker has indicated. Would someone make that motion, please?
Motion to amend PCR 102-18 and to award to Cardi's Corp., G. Lopes, Richmond Sand and Stone, Materials Sand and Stone, J.P. Keating, and Dry Bridge Sand and Stone. Is that 6?
Seconded.
We have a motion. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And again, thanks, Rick, for doing that due diligence. Appreciate the effort.
Thank you.
Finance Committee is adjourned at 6:07. Dry Bridge.
HEW? Are you all set? Just all right, excellent. Good evening. The time is 6:08 p.m. Health, Education, and Welfare Committee is now open. We begin with acceptance of the minutes from the committee meeting held on May 21st. May I have a motion?
Motion to accept.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Item number 1, PCO 3-13, Rocky Point, ordinance to protect the rights of the private property owners. Not drafted. Councilman Lattiser.
Hold August 15th.
Hold till August 15th.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Item number 2, resolution to establish a Bucky Brook Advisory Committee, not drafted. Councilman Lattiser.
Hold till August 15th.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you both very much. The time is now 6:09 p.m. Health, Education, and Welfare Committee is closed.
No.
Thank you, John.
Good job. Could you make it a little quicker next time?
I'm like, steady. Yeah, right? Oh.
Yep, so I need you to document this for document section. And then that's the language for John Harrington. Yep, so John dropped it. And this came, I think we're correct, or is this one personnel? I don't know.
You said chili? The time is now 6. It looks like 6:12.
Public safety now open at 6:12. First is the acceptance of minutes from committee meeting held on May 21st.
Motion to approve.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
All approved. Next is PCR 16-18 tree damage claim. This is Councilman Luttis, so it's not drafted.
It's me, right?
Yep.
Can we hold that to September 6th?
Okay.
Wait, that might be the wrong date. September 5th.
Says August 20th. Councilman Luttis. Right here.
Yeah, that wasn't mine.
It's mine.
Yeah,
I'm the sponsor of
Tree damage
that.
claims, that wasn't
Yeah,
mine.
I'm McAllister. I know, I read it after.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry. But over here it says August 20th, but you're doing September?
Yeah, we got a lot in August.
Okay. So there's a motion to hold till,
September 5.
Seconded.
all in favor?
Aye.
Public safety is now closed at 6:13. Thank you.
Thank you.
12, 6:13. Okay, this was moved by 7.
All right.
Hello. Thank you. So what she have? She did have the boy.
Yeah. You don't have that.
Oh, I'm sure Riley's going to call. She's going to call Riley was going to the hospital this afternoon to see him for the first time. He was blown last evening.
Oh, wow.
It's going to rain later.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, we've been sitting for a week. Right. Oh yeah.
Don't tell Lynn, though.
Can you feel it? I can't feel it in my bunion yet.
Riley was going to see him this afternoon, but we couldn't stay at the hospital any longer because I had to be here. pictures. I only pull them out at the last.
I want to see him, yeah.
Do you need this back?
Oh. Oh, I got raffle tickets too. He can't stand, he can't sit, he's driving me crazy. Don't go near me with this. Can I go to slap him? You want to buy a raffle ticket? Look at it. It's a 4th of July barbecue for 8 people. Oh my God, I don't want to talk about the school department. You're right.
So how are you?
I'm just doing wonderful.
this committee?
Nope. I just want to look at your pretty face.
We're going to have a...
She was up there talking about.
What time is it?
6:37. It's right there. Judge Tuesday is right there. Did you see it? She was just saying he wants it.
I'm leaving at 7:30.
Kids.
Council Committee on Appointments in session at 6:38.
Chiller again?
Item 1, appointments requiring confirmation to the Sewer Authority for Tina Moretti. I ask the committee hold this till July 16.
Motion to hold to July 16th?
Second.
Motion by Councilman McAllister, second by Councilman Lattiser. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
This appointment will be held till July 16. To the Kent County Water Authority, the appointment of John Mulhern, who was withdrawn. Again, motion to accept the withdrawal.
Motion to accept the withdrawal of John Mulhern.
Second.
Motion to accept the withdrawal of John Mulhern by Councilman Lattiser, second by Councilman McAllister. All in favor?
Aye.
The appointment stands withdrawn. Item 2, the appointment of Jeff Giusti, 39 Chase Street, Warwick, to the Kent County Water Authority, term to expire July 1, 2028. Jeff is here, if anybody would care to speak with him or question him. He does have his resume in. Jeff. Councilman Lattiser.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jeff, could you just, because I know not everyone here has seen your resume, so could you just give us a history and background of what your experience is in the different areas of expertise that you have?
Jeff, you got to talk into the mic. You got to get real close.
I think it's off. I think I turned it off when I was over.
I'm a general contractor and I own an underground lawn sprinkler business. General contracting since 1983. Underground lawn sprinklers since 1987. I've done developments all over the state of Rhode Island. Installations of underground lawn sprinklers all over the state of Rhode Island. I do understand the sensitivity of water. It's a #1 resource. Without water, it's a big issue. So being asked to be on the board was an honor, and hopefully I can be an asset to the board.
Jeff, I have a particular appreciation for your experience, and to me, it's very important, whether it be on this particular authority or any of the other authorities or committees that we have throughout the city. I think it's particularly important that the folks that we are considering for appointments have expertise in that field, who have experience in the field. You're working for the Water Authority, you understand about laying pipe, you understand what the complications are, the problems are, you have a sense for what the costs are for some of these things. And I think those things are all prudent in making intelligent, informed decisions on these committees. And particularly, the reason that I'm going to be supporting your appointment here is because of that experience. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Councilman McAllister.
Thank you. I'd like to echo my colleagues' comments and thank you for agreeing to serve on this board. I represent Ward 7. Ward 7, parts of Ward 7 gets their water from Kent County Water Authority, so it is, very important to the constituents in Ward 7 that we have qualified people on the board making these important decisions. And, going through your resume, 30-plus years of working in these fields is very important. I also see that you have volunteered in other positions, PTA president, baseball coach, football coach, hockey coach, and I just want to thank you because it is, it's critical for us here that have volunteers like you that serve on this board that are willing to put the time in because it has a major impact on the citizens of Warwick, so I just want to thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
Mr. Chairman, can I speak also? Councilman Wall.
Mr. President.
Thank you. I just wanted to support Jeff's position to Kent County Water. I've actually known Jeff all my life. He was in school together, grew up on Red Chimney Drive, still lives in Ward 9, still volunteers at many organizations. I remember him being the PTA president at Cedar Hill and a lot of the things that he was able to accomplish there. But more importantly, as Councilman McAllister and Councilman Lattiser mentioned, his experience with water is really a gift to the city. Not only did he start off as a contractor with his father's business, and you remember in the old days when some of the condos were being built along Post Road heading into East Greenwich, Jeff's father and Jeff were the contractors on some of those. So he's dealt with Kent County Water Authority all his life, both as a resident who pays the bill and also as a contractor who knows what it takes to get past some of the safeguards. And I know at Kent County, and I know from experience over the years I've been a councilman, Jeff has called me about different issues with Kent County Water, and I believe he's also spoken to Councilman Galucci, and he's turned out to be a valuable resource to the city. I remember a few years back, we went out to bid, and Jeff was awarded some work in the city to do sprinkler systems and installation around the city for different fields, and also had mapped out, I believe many years ago, a sprinkler system at Cedar Hill School before they put on the addition, I think it was. It's nice to have somebody that was born and raised in the community, that works in the field, has probably over 30 years of experience. The city's hired him in the past, and I just think that he's going to be a great resource, not only to Kent County, but a great advocate for the residents in Ward 7, 8, and 9 with the Kent County Water Authority. I'd also like to thank the General Assembly members from Warwick that were able to advocate for an additional position on the Kent County Water Authority for the city of Warwick. I think it's long overdue and much needed, and I welcome Jeff bringing his voice and adding to the conversation, and also adding to an extra vote on that board for the citizens of Warwick. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just to echo Council President Marola's comments, this additional position was created by the General Assembly, which gives us Warwick, the city of Warwick, 2 positions to the Water Authority. There are 2 representatives from the town of West Warwick, and there are 1 from East Greenwich, 2 from Coventry, so it will be, with your addition and pending confirmation, there will be 7 members. The first meeting will be this Thursday, but we'll be in contact with you again pending your confirmation this evening, and look forward to serving with you. Any other comments, Council, public? If not, I'll accept a motion.
Make a motion to approve Jeffrey M. Giusti to the Kent County Water Authority.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Lattiser to approve the appointment of Jeffrey Giusti to the Kent County Water Authority. Second by Councilman McAllister. All in favor?
Aye.
Stands approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Jeff.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. We got to approve the minutes.
Accept the minutes from the committee meeting held on May 7th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved to approve by Councilman McAllister, second by Councilman Lattiser. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Stand approved. Time.
One more. May 21st. We just did this one. Now we're doing this one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Next one for minutes of May 21.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Motion to accept by Councilman Lattiser, seconded by Councilman McAllister. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Stand approved. Time. Committee stands adjourned at 6:47. Thank you. All right, 7, 5, 3, nothing. 5, 7, 3, nothing. Let's close. Who else is on?
Donna coming.
Is this yours, Ed? Mick?
Yes. Yeah, I'm all set. Yeah, I got everything. I'm all set. Thank you very much. I'm trying to get it done in 45 seconds. No, I'm trying to, like, get it done in 45 seconds. What time is it? 6:48. This is the Public Properties Land Use Committee and Community Affairs meeting starting at 6:49. First item on the agenda is the acceptance of minutes from the meeting on April 23rd and, no, May 21st, I mean.
But I think was that the one I was absent at? I have to abstain?
I'll move to accept.
Okay, I'll second. All in favor? Aye.
I wasn't here.
The first item on the agenda is PCO-13-18, Comprehensive Plan Amendment to the Future Land Use Map, Benefit Street, Assessors Plat 244, lots 48 and 50, Harrington Realty LLC was petitioner. This is here for a second hearing, second passage, I mean.
Councilman McAllister.
Yes, Councilman?
Thank you. I move for favorable action on second passage of this.
Yeah, I move favorable action.
All in favor? Aye. Next item on the agenda is PCO-12-18, an ordinance relative to a zone change petition, Benefit Street, Assessors Plat 244, lots 48 and 50, Harrington Realty LLC petitioner, and this is a companion to the one we just voted on. It's here for second passage.
I make a motion. Favorable.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, and the last item on the agenda is PCR-165-17, sale of former Christopher Rhodes Elementary School property. It's not drafted. Councilman Rex?
Request to hold to September 5th.
I make a motion we hold to September 5th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The meeting has ended at 6:51. All right, so I do all that. So I don't need this. You've got this, right? You don't want extra paper, I imagine? Oh.